Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another one of our preseason podcast for Big Brother Hometowns 15 Second Chances. Today, I am so excited to be talking about another one of our returners. What was their game? What's their second chance story? And today we are going to be talking about one Tommy DiCarlo. However, I am not alone. I am here joined by two of Tommy's closest allies from Big Brother Hometowns 14. Firstly, she is the absolute love of my life. She is a five-time Big Brother Hometowns player. It's Miss Abby Baxley.
Hello,
Hey.
hello.
How are you, my dear?
I am well. How are you?
Good. You sound better than you did like 30 seconds ago.
Because I had a good coughing session a couple minutes
Good.
ago, and we're thriving now.
Good. I love to hear it. Also joining us tonight is the other half of DATrio. Other third of DATrio. It is Daniel. Hey, Daniel.
Hi,
How are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so excited to be talking with both of you, both people that I very much love and enjoy. Um, and I'm also excited to be talking about Tommy coming back for second chances.
Yes.
You.
As some of his closest allies, I'm sure you guys are excited for him.
I'm so
Oh.
excited.
Yeah, I'm so pumped.
Good. Well, I'm excited to get the scoop on Tommy and what you guys think he can do better. As the first victim from your alliance, we can openly talk about what went wrong for Tommy and how he can overcome. Because for me, from a production standpoint, from a casting standpoint, I really do think Tommy has every tool that he needs in order to be successful. I think he just kind of got caught up in a few things in season 14, and it kind of ended up biting him in the butt. So let me throw it to Daniel. Daniel, talk about some of the strengths of Tommy DiCarlo.
Yeah, I'd say one of his biggest strengths is that he was one of, like, in the first few rounds, he was one of the most social people on the cast. I felt like he was constantly putting in effort with not only my chat, but it seemed like he was talking to everyone as well. And for me, honestly, he was one of my favorite people to talk to. Every day when we talked, I really loved our conversations. He was someone that I could just get behind working with and talking to. And it seemed like in those early stages, like he had that effect on a lot of people. Also, he's really good at challenges as well. In almost every challenge that he was in, he was either first. It was anywhere from like first to fourth. Like he was really really good.
Abby, you were immediately drawn to Tommy early on. What about him drew you like to want to work with him?
I mean, literally just from the second we even like video chatted, it was just we just clicked. I don't know what it was. Our energies just like meshed. We like hit the ground running. We never ran out of anything to talk about. He was just bubbly and just so fun. He act like you could tell that he genuinely cared, not just about the game, but like as for you as a person. And that's I love Tommy. I just love Tommy.
Yeah. And Tommy is fantastic. He is incredibly charming. He is like you said, very easy to talk to. Um you know, so his social game is great. His comp game is really strong. Strategically, I truly believe he understands what's going on, but this is where he found himself into trouble. Somebody give me the reason, like, remind us of why Tommy ended up going out in 14th place.
Oh, Tommy.
Tommy can't lie to save his life.
No, it's not that he can't. He can lie. He just doesn't know how to pull it off properly.
Yeah.
He
Right, everyone can lie badly.
Yeah. He didn't like actually rope back in at the end of the day and say, okay, team, like, what is our game plan?
Yeah.
We had an idea of a game plan, but nothing was ever solidified. And he would get nervous about something and he would jump and try to save it himself before coming to us about it first. So when we were going to tell him, like, hey, be honest about the plague doctors, like, don't lie, he had already went and told all these other people, like, no, plague doctors who we don't know her, without, like, talking to us about it first. So we didn't have the chance to be like, Tommy, if you tell people this, like, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And he went with it.
I think I mean, when you play one of these games, there is always times that you have to lie, and you have no choice but to be dishonest with people that are in the game. But I think picking and choosing those spots and understanding those spots of when that is when you need to be lying and when you don't is really a key element of these games. And one thing that Tommy made a mistake in season 14 was, if you guys remember, he was the holder of the block a vote in the first round, and he lied about whose vote he blocked so unnecessarily, just for no reason. I mean, I'm curious if you think like that was just like an impulsive decision. Was he just excited to be playing the game, Daniel? Like, what do you think?
I think it was. I think that he thought that that decision was more important than it really was. Because going into that vote, we knew it was going to be unanimous. We knew it didn't matter, but I don't think that he, or I think that he may have thought that the person would be mad about canceling a vote when really it shouldn't.
It ultimately was a 14-0 vote.
So whoever's vote got canceled like made no difference at all.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's something that, this is only going to be Tommy's second long-term game? Do you think that this is something that he learned his lesson from, or could we see some mistakes again here in the second chance?
I think a little bit of both. I think that he's learned his mistake of like Abby mentioned, working with your allies to make a plan before doing things. Because Tommy was a very impulsive player. He did a lot off of a whim or like without telling us. But I think that he would have performed better if he did tell us what he was doing.
Agreed.
And even before he went out, both Abby and I scolded the fuck out of him. We were like, Tommy, why did you do this, and this? You should have done this, and this. And he was like, that makes total sense.
Yeah. I think, too, coming from my own experience, because I did the same thing in 14 as Tommy did. And this is just from, like, my standpoint. He and I both put all of our effort into DATrio. And obviously that's not the first time I've made that mistake before. Mitchell would know. So, loyal or go home. And that's what I did. So, I think that hopefully he's learned from that too. Like, even though you have your ride or die, put your hand deeper in these other pots too, because other people in those pots might be with your ride or dies. You can learn other information from those other people and bring that back and bring that into your master plan. Don't just depend on these two other people. Like, it's still at the end of the day your individual game too. So get yourself out there. And that's one thing that I admired about Daniel. Like, yes, he had us, but that's why he went so much further than us, because he had loyalties other places as well. So I hope he sets a better game plan for himself. Like, yes, these are my ride or dies, but I need to have other stuff lined up for if they leave before I do.
So we're going to keep it 100 here. I mean, I'm not going to tell you every person who's on the cast, but there are other people from season 14 that are going to be on this cast. What do you think Tommy's response will be to seeing, he was you almost unanimously evicted. So what do you think his response will be to some people from your season that ultimately were the reason that he was taken out of the game?
I think that I'm interested to see, because coming into 14, he had known some people from Sequester as well. I don't know how much he really worked with them, but I don't think that, and from speaking to Tommy after the game as well, I don't think Tommy's not a person who likes to play with his friends. He likes to make new connections and like considers games. Um, but I have seen him hold grudges. So I think that he will want to work with newer people, and like I could see him holding a little bit of ill will towards some other BBH 14 players.
Yeah. I can see that too, but I can also see him being drawn to them at first because like that's something that he's used to, that's like familiar to him until he gets warmed up to these other people. So they're kind of like on the back burner, like, yeah, I have them from like my previous season, but like here are these other people too that I need to get to know. So I think if he plays it smartly, he can use that to his advantage for sure.
Yeah. I'm super curious to figure out what happens with that because, like, you know, having just played an all-star season myself, like, and feeling like I really managed to balance, you know, like people that I knew versus people that I was just meeting and balancing those I really well, in my opinion. You know, I learned, Abby, from our mistake in that, like, we were just in 10 when we were just like ride or dies, you know, after being enemies, essentially, like we were, you know, we put it beside us, but then that wasn't enough for us. And so, you know, I'm curious to see what Tommy's take will be on things because I think there are people who will want to work with him from your season. And then I think, but I'm not quite sure where Tommy fits into that. I remember, like, for myself, again, like coming into the All-Star game I just played, the people that beat me, I was like, I really want to beat them. Like, and I wonder if he suffers from having that same kind of mentality because he is, spoiler alert, the lowest ranking person from y'all's season. So like lowest placing person from your season. So like I'm curious to see how he responds to that as a concept itself.
Right. And I think another factor we have to consider is that Mitch, just like you and Cutthroat, Tommy's going back to back. Almost every, like I'm assuming almost every person playing BBH 15 watched Tommy in 14. But some of the newer, like let's say the season 13 or season 14 players maybe haven't seen some of the older seasons. So there's going to be people on there that they haven't seen play. But I have a pretty strong feeling that everyone on the cast has probably seen Tommy play or like heard things about BBH 14.
Yeah. And I mean, and that is one of the things where it's like, will Tommy go do his homework? Will he? I mean, every season except for 12 is available, you know, on YouTube. Like, they're all there. Like, will he go do his homework? I don't know. He's busy. He's a teacher, you know, like he might not. And he might just be able to vibe it out and feel his way through the game. But I think if it was, you know, truthfully, I didn't before Cutthroat. But Cutthroat doesn't have episodes. So like I think it's different. So I don't know. Okay, so
me personally, when we played 10, coming into season 10, I automatically was drawn to the people I was familiar with and I had played before, like you and Bradley and Ryan and Sarah. Like I was automatically just like drawn to them. Pietro, Rachel, I didn't know them. I didn't watch their season. I didn't do my homework. And I was just kind of like, I'm good. No, thank you.
To be fair, so were they. So
exactly. And look where that fucking got me. So whatever.
So let me ask you guys like a wrap-up question. Just we're trying to keep these, you know, within 15-20 minutes. What do you think the second chance story of Tommy DiCarlo is going to entail?
He better at least make it a jury. I'm going to kick his ass.
Facts. Facts. I think
like if he's not going to win, he better make it to jury.
Yeah, if he doesn't make jury, Abby and I will give him shit for the rest of his life.
Like, if I can get in third twice, you can at least make it to jury, okay? Let's be real.
No, but I think Tommy, Mitch, just like you said, he has all the goods. He just needs to learn how to use them.
Yeah.
And I think coming from the rookie story where last season was his first season, his first long org, he made a lot of mistakes that are kind of common that we see people coming from the mini community when they play their first org. Like they play too hard, too fast. They don't know how to manage a longer game. But I think now that Tommy has one season under his belt, he's going to do a lot better. I'm pretty confident that he can do well in this season. Honestly, I'm really close with Tommy now. Like we talk every day. If I wasn't confident, I would say it. Like I would roast his shit right now. But like I think I think that he can do really well. He's just going to need to be able to manage all the eyes on him.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I'm super excited for him, and I'm already proud of him. I just hope he doesn't make us look like an idiot in this. So. Overall, Tommy, I love you so much.
I love you to death, Tommy.
Well, the season is only a few days away, and when this airs later down the road.
Yeah.
Only a few days away. So if you're watching this as it's being streamed to Facebook, go check out. Make sure you get into the Discord. Make sure that you get your fantasy picks in. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Get in there. Do all the things that you've got to do. And until you see us on a Big Brother Hometowns 15 stream, for real, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Abby, for joining me tonight. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for having us.